Okay, this is for Saka for Bukayo. Question is, do I need to do recovery right after your individual training? I think you might want to consider this phrase. It's called restoration. So restoration in my mind is active recovery, and you can do that indefinitely. So I think it may be good to do some stretching and some restoration, right? Some restoration techniques right after training, because I think there's this theory of blood pooling. So after you've taxed yourself in a game or a training session, cooling down, letting your heart rate, doing some things that allows you to cool down effectively is key. So I think, yes, it's important to do it right after training, because you want to have not only do you want to have a good warm-up, but you also want to have a good cool down. Something that I've started doing for a cool down is Ben Patrick's ROKP, which stands for reversing out of knee pain, but it's bigger than that, because what it does is it helps restore the body from the toes up, right? So a lot of time you're going to be moving. Most people most of the time spend most of their time moving forwards, right? So walking backwards balances the muscles in the feet, and it just has some benefits for the body that I don't understand, but that I know that are beneficial. So for spending some time walking backwards immediately out of training is something that you could start to apply immediately, that will help your body recover. The second question is cycling important? If you have a bike at home, you could definitely use a bicycle to help with recovery, or even for warm up. But it's just like, it's just a tool, just like a rower is a tool, just like a pull-up bar is a tool, just like a jump rope is a tool. So understanding that, right, you gotta ask yourself, well, what's the goal, right? Is cycling gonna help? Cycling could be a low impact way to get a great, a VO2. You could get a great VO2 max workout if you do some 30-second sprints, 30-second sprint, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 6 to 8 rounds. That's a VO2 max workout, and that takes not even 15 minutes. Or you could use it for a low intensity endurance workout. So it kind of goes back to what's your goal with the tool, and how are you going to incorporate it to elevate your player performance. So just being mindful of what you're trying to do is important. Third question is, what is a good post-recovery shake? And then you're looking for some protein alternatives, because there's some consideration into cost. If you get a box, most grocery stores, they have this thing called a box discount with bananas, right? So you could get a 20-pound box of bananas, I believe, or it might be 40-pound box of bananas. Basically, they sell I'm in Rhode Island, but most places around the country, they sell box bananas in boxes, and you could get the whole box. At Whole Foods, they'll give you a case discount if you buy the whole box. So what you do is you let the bananas ripen, and then when they're ripe, you freeze them all, and then you save a couple to eat, and then this creates a base for your shakes. And then you could just, from any big box store, I'm talking Costco, BJ's, just a discount bulk store, you could get nuts, seeds, and powder that'll last you for a really long time for very low cost, right? So that's something to keep in mind, right? You could get just a whole bunch of almond milk, just some shelf-stable almond milk, nuts, seeds, and protein, and that shouldn't cost you more than between $5 a day, maybe, and you could just throw, if you want, some almond butter or some peanut butter, and that could be a great recovery shake, and for very pretty low expense. Any other tips? Your question is, any other tips for recovery? A very cheap and effective tool that a lot of people don't use, and that no one used. I remember, when I was playing soccer for the past 27 years, 2 golf balls under the feet will help you, right? Standing on 2 golf balls is going to help you roll sore muscles and help your feet relieve some tension. I think that's a cheap and effective tool for recovery, and people don't realize how much tension they have in the feet until they're massaging the bottoms of their feet with golf balls. So I think that's something that feels really good, that you might enjoy. If you're not using an RMT rope, this is something I learned within the past year, and it's just completely changed my life. So search how to make an RMT rope, because it can translate not only into improved recovery, but also improved performance in terms of movement and timing and rhythm and agility and explosiveness and running mechanics. So search how to make an RMT rope, and you could search David Weck, WECK, for more info. Tips for recovery. You also might consider searching Ido Portal hanging, right? So he's going to show you how to use any type of ledge or pull-up bar or even a tree just to hang. And what hanging does, it allows your spine, right? It allows gravity to align your spine, and being able to brachiate, which means to swing, to go from, right, one branch or one pull-up, like a jungle gym, and then to swing and grab onto it. This has a restoration effect in the body. So that's something that will help relieve tension in the body and just strengthen, right? Think about how strong a monkey is, and they're just swinging, and they're squatting and they're playing. So that's something that you might want to check out. And lastly, you could search shoulder traction with Dick Hartzell, right? Hartzel. And the reason why traction is important is because it's active recovery, and it's strengthening as well. It's stretching, it's strength and restoration at the same time, because you're relieving tension in your body while you're developing strength through different ranges of motion. So this is an invaluable asset that you definitely want to check out, and it's so cheap to do once you have a loop resistance band, and you could get a 5-pack for less than $25. So that would be the last resource that you might want to check out, that can really, you could throw a loop resistance band in your backpack, and you could get great stretches anywhere you are. So just search Dick Hartzell, Hartzel. And that's a good start, right? The last thing I'll leave you with is, if you haven't learned how to breathe properly, I think one of the best videos is Dr. Vranich's, Vranich, How to Breathe. Her TED Talk has really changed my life, and that's something I can't recommend enough. And that's going to help with recovery as well. So give those things a try and reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.